Hello, thank you for joining. This is Quarantunes for Percussion. I'm Mr. Spur. Quarantunes, Quarantunes, happy Friday, Quarantunes. For today's lesson, we're going to begin with sight reading 8th note rhythms, and then we'll move on to 16th note rhythms, and then we're going to end by talking about the rudimental reference sheet. Here's our 8th note rhythm. As you can see, we have beaming across of 4 8th notes, so we're going to get used to reading those today. First, let's count it cold. We'll figure out how to count it. We'll count it one more time, and then we're going to play and count. Here we go with the click. And 1 and 2 and ready and count. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Use this time to pause, write down the rhythm, and then together we're going to figure out how to count it. So measure 1 has 2 8th notes followed by a quarter and then 4 more 8th notes. All notes at the beginning of the measure are on beat 1. Remember, we count 8th notes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So this 8th note right here will be an and. This quarter note takes up all of beat 2, and then we're going to finish it off with 3 and 4 and. Okay? Measure 2, we have 2 8th notes, quarter note, quarter rest, 2 more 8th notes. First note of the measure is on beat 1, 8th note's the and of 1, quarter note is on beat 2, quarter rest is on beat 3, but because it's a beat of silence, we're going to leave it alone. And then we have the 8th notes on beat 4, so it'll go 4 and. Okay, moving on to measure 3, we have quarter note, and then, what's that, 6 8th notes? So quarter note, it's on beat 1 because it's the first note of the measure, it takes up the whole beat. And then the rest goes 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then finally, we have the last measure. It's all 8th notes. So we're just subdividing that with 8th notes. Watch. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's try counting it. Here we go. 2, ready and count. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This time with your sticks, we're going to play and count. Here they are. And 1 and 2 and ready and play. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Good. Let's take a look at that 16th note rhythm. Here's our 16th note rhythm. We're going to count it cold. Here we go. 1, 2 and ready and go. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Whoops. Good thing I caught that. All right. So take this moment now to write down the rhythm, and then we're going to count it out. So here we are. Measure 1, we have a quarter note, 4 16ths, 2 8ths, and 4 more 16ths. All notes at the beginning of the measure on beat 1. The next beat has 4 16ths. Remember, we count 16ths as 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So beat 2 will have 2 E and a. Next, we have the 8th notes. That will be 3 and. And then beat 4 is 4 more 16ths. 4, E, and A. Moving on to the next measure, we have 2 8ths, 4 16ths, quarter, 4 16ths. So, all notes at the beginning of a measure are on beat 1. Since we have eighth notes, we have to write the end of 1. 4/16, that's a 2, E, and A. Beat 3 has a quarter note that takes up the full beat. And then we have 4/16 on beat 4. 4, E, and A. Moving on to measure 3, we have 4/16, quarter, 4/16, 2 eighth notes. Remember, first note of each measure is on beat 1. 4/16, you put 1 E and A. There we are. E and A. Beat 2 is a quarter note. That quarter note takes up all of beat 2. Then we have 4 more 16th notes for beat 3. That's 3, E, and A. And then 2 eighth notes on beat 4. That's 4, and. Then the last measure, we have 8/16, 2 quarters. So with those 16th notes, we just count 1 E and A, 2 E and A. And then the last quarter notes are on beats 3 and 4. Let's count it out. 1 E and A, 2 E and A. Ready and go. 1, 2 E and A, 3 and 4 E and A. 1 and 2 E and A, 3, 4 E and A, 1 E and A, 2, 3 E and A, 4, 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3, 4. Get your sticks out. We're now going to play it. Here we go. And 1, 2, ready and go. 1, 2 E and A, 3 and 4 E and A, 1 and 2 E and A, 3, 4 E and A, 1 E and A, 2, 3 E and A, 4 and 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3, 4. Okay, last thing I want to talk about is the rudimental reference sheet. So you may notice underneath the videos, there's a button that says rudimental reference. If you click on it, it's going to take you to a Google Doc where it takes you to a grid. On the grid, on the x-axis, you're going to have different rudiments. So there'll be like a paradiddle, your rolls, flams, drags. I think there's about 9 of them. Anyway, so there's different rudiments on the left side, and then on top of your y-axis right there, it's got different metronome markings. So you got like 50, 60, 70, 80, and so on, right? So this is what I'd like you to do. When you're practicing these rudiments with the metronome and you're charting your progress, all you do is you go to this document right there, you just find which spot you're at, and then you put your initials. So like, say, for me, for example, we'll put MS for Mr. Spur right there. And maybe for the rolls, I'm over at here more. And then maybe for my drags, I'm like in this region right here. And then for my flams, I'm over here right now. Even though we're focusing on these two for the time being, you can still fill this sheet out, okay? Because this is a shared document, what you got to make sure is you don't go on and erase somebody else's stuff. Don't be a bully, okay? All you do is if somebody wrote something in the box, just put a comma next to their name, space, put your initials right there too. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, okay? That's it. So email me or contact me through the contact page. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you next time. Stay safe out there.